The iPhone 13 mini is without a question the best compact phone in the world despite being more than 1 year old. Its predecessor the 12 mini has some compromises, despite being a good device overall. Obviously the 13 mini is better, but its price is also higher, so in this video I am going to compare them and tell you which one is worth buying in 2023. When it comes to the build quality, both iPhones feel and look almost the same. That's because they are made of glass and aluminum and they still feel amazing in the hand. The 13 mini has a slightly different camera layout and it is just a bit thicker and heavier, but overall, both are very similar. I always use them without cases and of course they have marks, but they don't have any cracks despite the fact that I dropped them a couple of times. They are IP68 water and dust resistant and I use them many times during swimming since it is easier to hold them because of their size. Another area where they are similar is with their displays. Both devices have a 5.4-inch display with a 476 pixels per inch. They both have OLED panels and they do refresh at 60 Hz. Both are very manageable outside, but the 13 mini does get a little bit brighter. It isn't a big difference with the 12 mini, but it is worth mentioning. Their colors on the other hand are identical, but the notch is narrower on the 13 mini while it is wider on its predecessor. In my eyes the notch looks more distracting on the 12 mini. Their similarities continue even with the software. Both devices run iOS 16 perfectly and both will get at least 3 more years of updates. The 13 mini, however, being newer, is more future-proof and will get updates longer. When it comes to performance, iPhones have been great for a couple of years and these two are no different. They are really fast at doing basic things and even with heavy apps and games they don't suffer at all. Honestly, it is impressive how powerful these devices are considering how compact they are. The 13 mini is faster and more powerful, but the 12 mini is not bad at all. With RAM they are identical since they both have 4 GB and they do an amazing job on keeping many apps opened in the background. When it comes to storage, the 13 mini has an advantage since it starts with 128 GB while the 12 mini has only 64 GB of base storage. If you look at the specs you might think that the iPhone 13 mini and 12 mini have the same cameras, and for the most part this is true. In daylight both devices shine by offering us detailed pictures with excellent colors and dynamic range. They differ however at low light, and despite the fact that the 12 mini is good, it isn't really as refined as the 13 mini. The ultra-wide camera especially is much more improved on the newer device. Their front cameras on paper are identical, but just like the rear cameras the 13 mini does a better job with pictures. Videos are also better with the newer 13 mini, even though the 12 mini is really good too, and whichever device you pick it will record amazing videos. Overall, the 13 mini is the winner, but this doesn't mean that the 12 mini has bad cameras. In contrast, they are still great for its price. One area where I couldn't find any differences between them is with audio. Both devices have stereo speakers and both offer clear sounds, but truth be told they don't get as loud. This is understandable since they are so compact and compromises had to be done in some areas. Probably the biggest difference between these two phones is with the battery life. This was one of the weakest points of the 12 mini, while when the 13 mini came out surprisingly its battery was much better. I wake up every day at 7 o'clock and the 12 mini only lasts me up to 2 or 3 p.m. while I can stretch the 13 mini up to 8 p.m. I always have to charge the 13 mini in the evening, but it is much better than charging it in the middle of the day. The battery health has been much better preserved on the 13 mini, but even when I had my 12 mini at 100% its battery wasn't as good as the 13. Both phones have Face ID as their main security system, which works flawlessly. I do also love the fact that Face ID now works even in landscape. So, which phone should you buy in 2023? Well, it all comes down to the price and battery life. The 13 mini costs now $600 while Apple has discontinued the 12 mini, but used you can find it around $350. If price isn't a concern and you want a compact iPhone, then the 13 mini should be your only choice, mainly because of the battery life. On the other hand, if you are tight with your budget, I think the 12 mini is also good, but be prepared to charge more than twice per day. So, this was my comparison between these devices. If you have any of them, let me know your experience in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to my channel.